decent move yesterday in IREN overall. We had a nice little pop, a nice little recovery really for all your memory, your chip, your AI stocks and things like that. That obviously continued today with the NASDAQ, but IREN a little bit of a drag in here. We had a nice decent little hold in here in the morning, and then as we got closer to midday, slowly started fading. Then we had a nice big drop off there. We were noticing that as we were looking at the net flow, because the net flow more or less just stayed bearish all day in here. So something was up, and then obviously couple that with the big run that we had in here yesterday. You figured something was going to happen, but all in all, still ending up 3% on the day, above that $41 handle. So that is good in here for us overall. Weekly chart in here, this overall structure, we care about this lower trend line. Obviously, we closed below that last week, opened up below it this week, but with yesterday's big movement, that put us back in this overall structure. So as long as we stay above this $38 line right here, we should be good. And then holding this structure. If not anything to the downside in here, we're looking at that 34, and that's where your big put wall is in here with your gamma exposure. So worst case scenario in here, it looks like immediately max pain is going to be 34, but I don't think we're going to get there just yet. And if we do get down close to that 34, look for a nice little bounce and recovery back up to these 38s. To the upside in here, it's all going to be about this $45 area right here. You have your 50-day SMA, your 9-day EMA. They're all meeting right here. You just had that 9-day EMA cross under in here on the week. So we're going to see if we can get some separation in here of these two moving averages. That's going to give us a better track of overall direction. Or we're going to cross back over in here. We'll take whatever, as long as we get some decent movement in here. We'll play the volatility accordingly, but we want to see some separation in here as these two moving averages have just touched. So we're going to see what happens in here going forward. Anything outside of here, we're looking at that $50 psych level, and then we're looking at the 52. So more or less in here, your walls on your gamma exposures are going to be 34 and then 50. That's kind of where everybody was setting up in here today. So we're going to see how that changes. But all in all, we'll take a 3% pop in here on overall bearish net flow. Speaking of bearish net flow, we're also going to take a look at GameStop in here. It's all going to be about this 200-day SMA right here. It's 21.92 is where it's currently trading, but all your gamma exposure is setting up at 22. So therefore, that's going to be where your major wall is right here. So we're going to need to either get some momentum to kind of clear that, and then we can worry about working our way from there, or we're going to get a harsh rejection as we get closer to that $22 area. So decent little pop in here in the past 4 weeks for GameStop with all the news about different acquisitions and things like that, but it's not doing any good for us in here this week so far on just 2 trading sessions. So 21.92 is going to be our first area of concern. That's just going to be that 200 SMA here on the weekly chart. We have that 22 psych level as well. And then anything to the other side, we are looking at 22.5, and then we're looking at this 22.87 area, which is going to be your 50-day SMA. To the downside in here, 21 flat, that's where you're going to be, that's where you're going to end up being for your lower trend line in here of your overall structure. That's going to be your major support. You got decent support there, so I don't think we're going to be running through that anytime soon, but in case we do, we're looking at 2085. So all in all, we will take a 3% pop in IREN. That is good, especially off the run that we just had yesterday. And with the NASDAQ still rising, we're going to look for a hold in here tonight to see if that rotation into all these memory and AI and chip stocks is going to continue going forward, which is going to in turn push the whole market higher, or are we going to start fading that yet again as we go into the end of this week, just like last week? And then we're going to see where that shakes off. Also, GameStop, it's still a meme stock, right? So we're going to see what type of news is going to come out in here, but all in all, it's going to come down to that 21, or it was really the 200 SMA, but it's the $22 area that we really care about the most. So let's see if we can get a nice push above there or a harsh rejection. Either way, that's going to give us some direction in here, and we'll know how to play this thing going out. So that's what we're looking at in IREN and GameStop for tomorrow and the rest of the week. All right, guys, if you like this video, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you are interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.